Hi friends, and welcome back to Planty Mandy. It is officially cold and snowy outside. I will include a video for you. But inside, it's still a jungle. So without any further ado, here are my favorite plants for November. Luna! Come here. Come up. They can't see you if you're down there. Come up here. I know you're not allowed at the table. Come here. Come up. Come up here. Up. Or not. Okay. Alrighty, let's start with number one. This is my Peperomia Hope. And it is getting so super long. And it's just trailing so nicely. It's finally heavy enough that it's just draping so nice. And look how thick it is up top. Absolutely crazy. So I actually won this one on an online draw, probably spring 2023. And it was in this pot already, but I did propagate a bunch of pieces and plug more pieces in there to make it thicker. So I'm thinking probably by next spring I'm going to have to upsize this pot. But I just think that it is doing so super well. I have this hanging directly in a south-facing window. It gets a ton of light. And it's just super happy. No problems. With this one, there's no way to know when it's thirsty. It just, it's always thick and stiff, and so you can't tell. So I just water it when it's completely dry and had no problems with it all. It is difficult to propagate though, because as soon as you cut these stems, the stems just die off. So you can't propagate it by stem, you have to propagate it by leaf, and that takes a very, very, very long time. So at this point, I'm just gonna let it keep growing and doing its thing, and I'll put it in a bigger pot, and that's as big as I want it to get. So that is number one, the Peperomia Hope. Okay, so we're going to go with a smaller one this time. Number two is my purple passion plant. I really hope you can see the colors on this. The stems are purple and fuzzy, as well as the leaves. Leaves have a little bit like a greenish shimmer on the bottom, but it's very purple plant, very fuzzy, very cool. So this one I did restart. I had it growing big on a trellis, and you can probably guess it by now, it got mealybugs like everything. And these are propagations from that main plant. I ended up just throwing out the big mother plant and just doing some propagations. And these ones I have in pon, because this is a very thirsty plant, and it's very difficult to keep very thirsty plants while watered without them getting root rot, right? So this one is in DIY pon, and it has just really been thriving. They propagate super easily, like they'll be rooted out in 3 days. Crazy fast. So this may be one that needs to be cut up and restarted every year or two, and that's fine because it just propagates so easily and so quickly. I really hope it's picking up the colors and the shimmer on these. They're like fuzzy and shimmery at the same time. I just love it so much. And I will show you the roots are super fine. Kind of remind me of begonia roots, just very fine. They really love water, but they also can be rotted very easily. So that's why the semi-hydro is working so well. And it does like highlight. I have it under Burrito grow lights right now, and that seems to be the ticket for this one. I have had it in direct sun before and it did fine as long as I kept it watered. But it's just a really pretty pop of color in amongst all of the green. I would like to put it right back here, but I don't think it would get enough light. Maybe there, but that's kind of like an in-demand spot right there. So it's in my living room that way, on my plant shelves under Burritos. So that is number 2, the purple passion plant, and I have no idea the botanical name, so I will put that on the screen. Super cheap, super common plant, like, and just gorgeous. So gorgeous. Okay, another big one. Here we go. I need to move some stuff here. Slide her in. Okay, so the stake is not super stable. Okay, I'm just going to turn this around. There we go. This is my Philodendron Florida Ghost. And there he is, ghosty ghosty. So this one I had on my plant shelves in the with the Burrito lights, and it was growing super ghosty leaves, wonderful, great. And then I put it on this taller stake and it was too tall to be there anymore. So I moved it into a lower light place and it started growing out just green leaves. So then I decided that when I was moving it back to where a grow light was, that I would chop off that top part that was pure green. So you can see, can you see right here where I cut that off? And then immediately after that, it switched to cataphyll growth. So if you don't know what cataphyll growth is, oh dear, this is tall. Okay, I'm going to take it out of this vase. There we go, that's better. If you don't know what cataphyll growth is, most of the time in a juvenile plant like this, the new leaf generally develops out of the petiole of the previous leaf. So this is the petiole, this is the leaf, and this is the stem. But when the plant matures, it will continue growing the stem and have this little pointy top part, and this is a cataphyll. So this is where the new leaf is developing inside of here now. So it doesn't need the previous petiole to create the new leaf. So immediately after cutting it, it changed to petiole growth. And that is my very favorite part of this plant because look at the color of it. Both the petiole and the cataphyll are just this super bright salmon pink. And it is so gorgeous. Combined with this white ghost leaf. Look at the pink veining in the back as well. And the front, it's this ghosty guy. So then, as the plant grows more, this ghosty leaf will fade to more of a minty color. Let's see if I can find one. Because I did cut this plant up, I'm kind of missing some stages here. But kind of minty, like that, and eventually turn green. So this is how, oh, can you see the green? There's a green one. This is how this plant can grow white leaves and keep them, and they just turn green and then they photosynthesize for the new leaves. And it's honestly just one of my favorite plants ever. And I do have it in this pretty vase because it's just deserves a pretty vase. But this pole is really not stable, so we need to work on that a little bit. But there that is. Plant number 3 is Philodendron Florida Ghost. Okay, I think we're kind of alternating between big and small. Here is another small one. This is the Hoya polyneura outer variegated. So I made a video back in September, I think, of potting up Hoya propagations, and this was one of them. It was very small at that point, and it has just not stopped growing since. So how many are in here? Well, officially 4, no, 5, and one has split into another one, and it is also under my Burrito grow lights, and it's just taken off. And I just love how when they get a little bit heavier, they drape like that. So beautiful. This is one of the Hoyas that they say does not need a trellis, will not do well in a trellis. It does best just draping down like that. And that is why I love it. I just love trailing Hoyas. And I just can't wait for it to get bigger. I think the outer variegation is the prettiest out of all of the polyneuras. So fully white leaf in there, doing great. Doing great. I love it. So cool. Okay, for the last one, I need to go get it. Here's a piece of trivia for you. If you can guess which plant this is, it is one that you do not want to touch or move or breathe on because it will literally fall apart. While you're thinking about that, I will go get it. Did you guess? This is the Burro's tail, aka donkey tail, but I'm thinking that's probably a different species. Look at those big tails. I love this so much. And it's getting so full because, like I said, if you touch it or look at it wrong, it will be dropping off these pieces or leaves or whatever they are in succulents. And then when it drops those pieces, I just throw them back in the pot. And like that. They will just drop, these guys, and I will throw them back in the pot, and they will root and they will grow a whole new piece. So that kind of keeps the top full, even though it has lost some pieces. Nice and full in there. Backside's not as pretty. It's a little bit sadder, but it will grow in. This one is also in full sun. I would love to put it outside in full sun in the summer, but I am afraid that a wind gust will come through and it'll just completely fall apart. So inside it stays right up against my south window, and it is very happy. Very, very happy. I'm just dreading the day when I need to repot it and see all those pieces fall off of it. But it's just thriving. It's doing great. And that is number 5 of my favorite plants for November. I'm going to go put that back where it belongs because it's very heavy and we don't want it to keep falling apart. So for that one, because it's so delicate, the way that I water it is just set a bucket underneath it and just water it through exactly where it hangs. So that's super easy and keeps it from being jostled too much. So this would normally be the part where I show you my new plants of the month, but there is none. So that is a rare occasion. Did you just hear Katie fly by? It's a fly-by birding. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, no new plants in November. So, I mean, that's kind of an occasion to celebrate in itself because that is a rare thing to happen. I just wasn't anywhere convenient to buy plants, and I didn't see anywhere that I was particularly interested in. So that's a change. So I guess that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your likes and for subscribing and for commenting. It really means so much to me, and it really does help the channel out so much. I will see you next week. Until then, peace, love, and plants.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright. And for the first time